नमस्ते बिटिया। हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया। ऑनलाइन डिजिटल लेक्चर्स की सीरीज में टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू टेक another lecture, that is analysis of symptom part 3. And before starting this lecture, I would like to say that we are all proud to be part of the best women university in India, that is JVWU Jaipur. I welcome you all in repertory class on digital version 2.0 at JVWU platform as per schedule provided by the university, having the best homeopathic college in Jaipur. Hope the lecture will satisfy your quest for knowledge. Please listen carefully and drop your queries in the comment box, which I will answer in the problem solving session. Now we move on to the lecture. As we have already discussed in the previous lecture also, that what is the definition of analysis of symptom? It is just a breakdown of all the symptoms of the case into qualified or characteristic and the unqualified common symptoms, so that we can evaluate them for proper repertorial totality to make. Dr. Kanjilal's classification, as we have already discussed, he divided the symptoms into two, the generals and the particulars. And the generals and particulars are divided into the common, uncommon, and the common. Both are divided in uncommon and the common. These peculiars, they can be characteristic, individualizing, determinative. The characteristic, they are first grade. The individualizing, they are the second grade. The determinative are the third grade. This is as per Dr. Kanjilal's view. Then we move on to Dr. R.P. Patel's view. He has followed Dr. Kant's view. He divided symptoms into general, particular, and common. And in amongst the general, particular, common, there can be rare, uncommon, peculiar, striking, and the common. Rare, uncommon, peculiar, striking, and the common. Rare, uncommon, peculiar, striking, and the common. This is R.P. Patel's classification. Then Dr. M.L. Dhavle, in his book Principle and Practice of Homeopathy, breaks the symptom into cause, aggravation, amelioration, unexpected deviations, like in cravings, aversions, then characteristic particulars. So after studying all these three stalwarts view, it is our recommendation to classify all general symptoms into qualified and unqualified, and all particulars as characteristic and common. And then selection of qualified generals and characteristic particular will be done amongst the follows. We can take the cause, the mental and the physical cause, aggravation, the psychosocial and the physical aggravation, amelioration, the psychosocial and the physical amelioration, unexpected deviations like mental, physical, pathological general by PQRS, by craving, aversions, conditional modalities, thermals, and finally, we should take characteristic particulars, that is, there must be some peculiarity in location, sensation, pathology, discharge, modality, or concomitant. So this is the way we should search for the qualified symptoms rather than the common. So this is the way we can reach at our simulation by the way of individualization. So this individualization is very important. This is the crux of homeopathic philosophy. We must take mental concomitant if any. They are nothing but the qualified mentals. Then physical generals like symptoms of menstruation and their peculiarity, discharges with their modalities like worse during menses or better during menses, menstruation twice in a month, heavy bleeding, or less bleeding, any sexual symptoms, symptoms related with impotency or increased sexual desire should be taken note of. Any aggravation before, during, after coition is a type of concomitant. Intensity of symptoms should be noted, like desire should be noted as in which intensity it is by placing plus marks in superscription. Aversion should be noted, what is the peculiarity amongst them, any characteristic modality, and the intensity should also be noted. Desire should also be noted with intensity, with modality, and the peculiarity amongst them. Then thermals should be noted as per their peculiarity, the modalities, and their intensity. Physical generals, the physical general concomitants, if any, in the case, should be taken note of. These are nothing but the defined physical generals. Pathological generals, if any, with peculiarity, modality, intensity, should be recorded. Then characteristic particular should be recorded. Peculiarity in location, like one cheek red, the other pale, should be recorded. Peculiarities in modalities, like pain of hand aggravated by slight touch but ameliorated by pressure, must be noted. The differential modalities should be noted. Peculiarities in sensation, non-exhausting diarrhea. This is the example, non-exhausting diarrhea. It is peculiarity in sensation. It must be noted. Then modalities like aggravation by heat or cold, by any food, by climate, by at specific time should be should be taken note of. Then amelioration by heat, cold, foods, climate, specific time should be recorded. Then intensity of pain, its radiation, its wandering should be recorded. Then particular concomitants, if any, should be taken note of. Pathology, any peculiarity, for example, painless ulcer, should be recorded. Modalities, example, relation to heat and cold foods should be recorded. Intensity, rapidly growing tumor or ulcer, etc., should be taken note of. The discharges like color, odor, consistency, mode of onset should be recorded. Any peculiarity in discharges, any peculiar odor, any peculiar modality, any intensity like in amount, in order, in frequency should be taken note of. So these are all the ways to take note of all the characteristic features of the case. So this is how we analyze the symptoms of the case. But the main thing is we should note generals as far as they are qualified, and physical generals as far as they are characteristic, and particulars as far as they are peculiars. So this is the gist of homeopathic prescribing, that we must reach at individualization by finding out the uncommon ones, the peculiar ones, the rare ones, and the strange ones. Whether it is in the domain of general, mentals, physical generals, or the particulars. So this is all in the lecture classification of symptoms part 3. Now at the end of this lecture, or at the end of this session, I would like to give you an assignment which is in form of subjective question. I want to ask you, what is Kant's method of analysis of symptoms, and what is the utility of analysis of symptoms? You have to answer, what is the Kant's method of analysis of symptoms, and what is the utility of analysis of symptoms? So thank you all. See you in the next session with a new topic. Until then, goodbye. Take care of your health.